Hiya! Hiya everybody! We actually have a Phainon trailer today called the Coronal Radiance. Time to see if we get some massive lore drops. Let's have a look-see. I have both the English and the Japanese version right there. We're gonna start with the English one. If I feel like it's necessary, there's a like a lot of voice acting and stuff, maybe we'll check the JP one as well. I personally played the game on JP, but I know a lot of people rather listen to the English one, especially on the first watch, right? So let's do that.
They say, if suffering has an
Oh, she. I know what that number means.
will be the deliverer. But why is there absolutely nothing
Damn.
behind me now?
Oh, Yasin.
After it's over, I'll open a tailor shop.
It wouldn't be bad.
No!
For yourself.
I want to be a normal person.
That's not a wish.
Time to see who's better.
And stand up and face me!
No!
Why? Why did you?
Oh my god.
Take them all away from me!
May this world never again need a deliverer.
Phainon of Ides Elysiae. What is your dream?
Oh, that music too. Oh my lord. I'm crying, bro.
In truth, I just want...
Ooh. So sometimes he just does lose. What the hell? Oh! What?
This is not the end. Then I will keep walking until I witness the end of this journey. But I will never submit to this idea of fate.
Holy. He's gonna put it on. Oh my god. Yep, I was right. Okay. So much to... There is so... Oh my lord. So first of all, the number we see here is the number of cycle that Phainon has gone through. Every single time that the world goes to crap, there's a new cycle that begins. And he's been into the same horrific cycles 33,550,336 times now. That is absolutely bananas. The amount of suffering that poor boy has been going through is actually insane. So this is what this number means. We have another traumatic number to add to the pile. It is right there. That's absolutely bananas. Now, the other things I want to talk about here is that obviously, I don't know if he always remember. I don't know if he always remember like what happened in the previous cycle. I feel like it's probably a case of like going through, because like when we saw the evolution of of Phainon in the current cycle that we're playing through in 3.4, right? And since 3.0 to 3.3, where we saw Phainon slowly lose his naivete and innocence and, let's say, joie de vivre, right? And then he started like changing into a more cold person and maybe disillusioned to some extent, right? As he was losing all of his friends. So to me, that means that maybe when he goes into a new cycle, he doesn't necessarily fully remember what happened before. And it's only at the end of it, when he goes back into the Genesis vortex, that's when he gets all of his memories back. And that's why we saw his name being censored, because that was not Kevin anymore. Sorry, Phainon. Jesus! It was not Phainon anymore. So, yeah, I feel like he goes back to the beginning. He doesn't remember anything. As time goes on, he becomes more and more disillusioned with the idea of like hope. He loses all of his friends. And then once he reached the Genesis, the Vortex Genesis, that's when he remembers everything. He realizes he's been through this cycle again and again and again and again, and nothing has ever gotten better. He loses more and more hope, and then it's time to go to the next cycle. He probably has to have a fight with the Flame Reaver, right? So I think the Flame Reaver is probably... I feel like every single time that he goes to a new cycle, because his memories gets deleted essentially, right? He starts from zero. I feel like maybe the Flame Reaver is created from all of the memories that he is, that he had from all of his previous incarnation, right? So imagine that Phainon goes from one cycle to another and his soul keeps going to the next cycle, but his memories is stuck and gets accumulated into the Flame Reaver. And that's why the Flame Reaver is just destruction, right? Essentially, imagine the Flame Reaver being like a memo sprite of Phainon that's trying to stop him, right? That's my crackpot theory, but I think it's more and more probable, guys. So yeah, that's absolutely insane. Now, obviously, we can see like here, this is like his current world, but when he turns around, you know, you can see like all of the previous incarnation, basically, right? So here you can see like everybody fighting. There's a world where Castoris sacrificed herself to protect the Glea. This is, oh, dude, this is so depressing.
Time to see who's better. And stand up and face me!
Obviously, here we can see Midday getting killed. And I think what's most tragic is that Midday is like Phainon's best friend, and every single time he gets killed, he realizes that Phainon is the Flame Reaver, because only Phainon knows what his weak point is, like his specific vertebrae. I think there's a reason he says why. Because he understands.
Why did you?
Yep. Dude, that's insane. Oh, although that was actually Phainon saying why. Okay, never mind. I thought it was actually Midday. I'm sorry, Mighty. I don't have the voices, I don't know them.
May this world never again need a deliverer.
Bruh.
May this world never
I think that's Cyrene speaking.
again need a
The blood on the wall. That was probably, I feel like that was probably, what's her name? Cypher.
deliverer.
Here you can see, oh my god, all the puppets, bro. Aglea. Oh my god. Anaxa. I don't know who this one is. And then he wakes up into a new cycle and he meets Cyrene. Oh, Alexogora. But I think this is supposed to represent Elidis Elysia, obviously, because it's like the wheat field. But Anaxagora is the one that's closest to the truth of this world, so it kind of makes sense that he would be the one here to actually interact with Phainon. Maybe because Anaxa understood, finally, what the truth of the world was, and he kind of fused with the Titan. Maybe there's a chance that he's going to be able to interact with Phainon as his soul passes from this cycle to the next, but I'm not entirely sure.
Of IDs Elysiae, what is your dream?
Maybe that's just a representation of like what happens every time he goes to a new cycle, and then Anaxagora becomes his teacher over and over again. Oh my god, look at him being so happy, bro. Oh, this is so sad. That music is hurting my feelings. Like the training. practicing. I wonder, cause like. Cause like here we see his blade fly away. His blade fly away. Oh no. Yeah. He's the one losing here. Okay.
In truth, I just want...
That moment is insane. And you know what's crazy here? See this picture? Yep. That's Iron Tomb's doing. So, I think this means that this is what Iron Tomb did. Some people will think that this means Phainon is Iron Tomb, but I actually think that this means this is like what Iron Tomb likes to do, basically. So to me, Iron Tomb is the one that did that. You can even see here in this picture, it seems to be other hands in the back. So to me, that means that Iron Tomb is in the back manipulating what's happening behind, like in front. So I think this is proof that Iron Tomb manipulated Phainon into doing that, trying to transform Phainon into a new Lord Ravager to be able to break through the prison that Amphorius is. Oh my god.
If this is not the end, then I will keep walking until I witness the end of this journey. But I will never submit to this idea of fate.
He's crying.
Never.
And after all that, the only thing that awaits him is a new cycle. And that's why at the end, boop, 1 more armor. Oh my god, that's so tragic! The suffering is so real. I cannot wait to see Saridra and Hyzelins, bro. And like, there's some other, like Terravox, I think. Oh my lord, this shit is insane. And, yeah. So I think after all this, I still think that Phainon, I think this is a simulation to kind of reproduce what happened originally in Avidlum, which is the home planet of Nanook. I think this is basically what happened. I think it's a simulation of kind of like a similar life to what happened to Nanook. And basically, Phainon is a simulation of who Nanook used to be, in a sense or in a way. And Iron Tomb is trying... Basically, Iron Tomb has been imprisoned in Amphorius, but he's using the power of the scepter to try to break free by creating this simulation that he has no other choice but to just witness, because he can't really break free by himself. He doesn't have that power. And so by trying to push Phainon into becoming a new Lord Ravager, he's hoping that as a new Lord Ravager, he's going to be able to destroy the prison. Because for a reason or another, Iron Tomb himself is not able to escape, right? So he needs another Lord Ravager with him. Now, I think the only way that this is going to be a good ending for Phainon is if, as a Lord Ravager, if he does either he doesn't become a Lord Ravager, but knowing what we've seen from the gameplay that he's going to have, it seems like he is. And if he is, I think the only way he does have a good ending is if, as a Lord Ravager, the path he opposes, because we know Fantilia opposes Hunt, Selenova opposes Harmony, etc. I think the only good way is for him to oppose destruction. Just like the way Acheron is against Nihility, maybe as a Lord Ravager, Phainon will be an ally that's trying to destroy Nanook. I think that's the only way for him to not end up becoming a villain. So anyway, that's my thought. I'm not going to put the Japanese version. I think we've gone through it enough. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video analysis, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys. Mwah.